We've got it pretty
for
set.
our predictions,
yeah, this time Emo's on the Morphling. I have a lot more faith on Emo on Morph than I do Fly. I know Fly's a really good player, but I just don't have as much faith in his Morphling. Going with IG.
My man.
I'll stick with the analysts. You know, you guys that are doing play-by-play, talking fast. You make your own group. You know, we'll stick together. I'm going Aster.
Talk
me and my
fast,
buddy.
think little. That's me and Beacop's motto. Alrighty, guys, take it away for game number 1 of this tiebreaker series. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Nomad. That sounds like an Ogre Magi line. Talk fast. Think little. They're going to go in. They're going to try and fight. They've got themselves a 3-man Earth Spike coming in from Kaka. They'll get the first blood on Lanham. They'll take out a boar. They'll get an extra CS. They'll look towards this gyrocopter. Can they catch Borax? And they've got another stun available, and that will hit the Wisp. Borax is going to fall here. 2 kills quickly for IG.
Oh, IG was so ready for this. They really were.
Right on it.
And look at Morph, already 1 CS, just dominating that chart. Everyone else at 0-0.
Yeah, top of the CS.
For sure.
But not top of the net worth. Razor's there. Doesn't quite get it, but that's a good way to start here for IG. That's a way to boost it up. Kaka, 3-man Earth Spike to start that fight off. That is exactly what you need.
Yeah, it's like a budget Ravage.
It looks cooler. More impressive, I think.
Oh, for sure. Much harder to execute, definitely. So they will play Io with the gyro, of course, but Borax is the one playing it. Lanham playing usually the 5, but we'll see like who gets farm priority here. Judging by the items, it's gonna be Borax who's gonna be playing 5 this game.
Yeah, they were doing a bit of that, or at least Bobica was doing that, I believe, with Fade, I want to say, was the support duo combo that they were playing a long time ago, and Bobica was taking over the 5, and they would switch back and forth a little bit, 4 and 5. So it's no surprise that he can make that flex.
Yeah, one of the reasons why they decided to do it is like Beastmaster Io just sounds kind of awful, but Beastmaster plus Tusk sounds really good. You know, that tag team plus a Boar Slow, it's going to be great. Tusk pulling the way between Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower. Needs to be a bit careful. That harassment coming out from Disruptor could be a bit tricky. So Ollie.
Who spear lands onto the gyrocopter. JT with the God's Rebuke on a Monet. But they won't have the damage to get the kill with Borax coming in with a tether. JT trying to catch him sleeping maybe. JT, like they were saying on the panel, we've been kind of saying it, he's felt like one of the season-long MVPs. I think that last series certainly wasn't a complete showing of what he can do.
Oh, for sure. Like, JT has been really impressive throughout the whole season. He has been amazing pretty much on Tidehunter, on his Timbersaw, on Mars, even Bristleback. Like, a very versatile player, and, like, his laning stage is extremely good. His positioning before jumping in, always top-notch pretty much.
So JT, so far, sitting 5-1. My favorite offlane item queued up for him. Bottle.
Oh, who would have guessed? For those who are tuning in just right now, do you mind explaining for the first time listening to you?
My favorite item picked up in the offlane right now is the bottle. I really enjoy it. I like that these offlaners are switching it up.
Because it gives mana and HP, right?
Yeah, but you used to see like a lot of soul rings. You used to see a lot of
actually, soul ring is just a dead item. Like
ferried out regen as well, and just getting the bottle. Because of the way I think people play it, right? Because you can just give it over to your support, he'll pick up a bounty rune, refill it. There really is a lot of sustain when you've got that bottle. The bounty rune's right there.
I can't argue with you, B-Cup. I don't know why do you have such a tone with me. Like, yeah, dude, trust me, dude, this bottle, like, you're picking up the bounty runes. Like, okay, I agree with you. You don't have to be aggressive, dude.
And XXS will trade. Fly. Takes a little damage from Lanham. You know, I just... It's after what happened in between games. I have to be really defensive right now.
So, yeah, top lane's going to be... a bit hard because like you're playing Razor, they have ways to deal with, you know, that static link snowball, Boar Slow, but they need to be careful also. Like Beastmaster usually doesn't like buy boots. We see a lot of Necro 3 rush into boots of speed. Might need to change things here a bit to be able to outrun the Razor.
especially if we see Ali go the build that I kind of like with disruptors is heavy into the glimpse, but he hasn't taken a point yet.
I think you just max out the glimpse after, like just put 3 points in it. Because this is your best spell. We've seen a couple of disruptors where like glimpse is maxed out, or if you have like 2 points in Thunderstrike, then your glimpse is level 2. You can feel really like the cast range difference. It's 400 per level.
Yeah, the glimpse is just what you saw at level 3 the other day.
Kaka, Invis mid. Let's see what they can do with it. Has a Hex, so a lot of lockdown. No points in mana drain yet.
Looking to potentially just walk all the way top, but he'll stop here. He just went to the north side of the lane.
But that got scouted out by a ward, so yeah, White Album knows. He feels pretty safe. Let's see.
He thinks so, but there's the stun. They've got the Hex. He's under the tower. Does Emo make the move? Ooh, thinking about it. Taking tower shots.
He did the math correctly. Even without using that Fairy Fire, he still lives.
And then White Album staying
he's
close
just gonna
again.
die.
He's just dead here to Kaka. That is so not what we've seen from White Album. A player I've been propping up real high
Like
with his performance this year.
were about to spawn in 5 seconds. He could have just gone and picked it up. So very, very interesting. This is the word we love to use when something like this happens.
Yeah, it's definitely the best adjective. Going Falcon Blade on that gyrocopter with the boots.
Falcon Blade feels great on a lot of the heroes, especially like some of the 4s as well. Like great Tusk item, but also like great Fever item. And people just love to buy it because it gives you a bit of tankiness, mana regen, and also a bit of a damage. So you get pretty much everything from it.
I am waiting for Lanham to queue up a Falcon Blade. Picks up that item.
Oh, for sure. Like, Lanham is the Falcon Blade buyer. No matter what hero he's playing, like whether it's Nyx Assassin 5, Falcon Blade, possibly into Aghanim Scepter, you know, he just loves to be super greedy.
Yeah, he does love that greed, and I think he's definitely the one that X-Nova was talking about.
Queen of Pain just aggressively blinked in.
Sonic Wave, Shadow Strike, Wave Form. They've got the tether coming out from barracks, but Kaka's here with the Hex as well as an Earth Spike. They've got the control, and they will get this kill on a White Album. That is 2 deaths in quick succession, and really going to make this a difficult game for the Queen of Pain. Tether back over to the range creep. They don't have a glimpse again, and the Spirit's hitting up on the Kaka, but won't do that much to him.
IG's bringing more heroes to these fights. Also, I think play for Queen of Pain there would be to actually try to get a Disruptor. Instead, use the combo on him. He tried to surprise the Morphling, but Emo was ready.
Picked up the double damage, even used it. Now they've got themselves the static link, but it's not going to be enough. XXS, with the help of Lanham and White Album, will get the kill there on the Fly, who is breaking away from the top of the pack in this game, which is usually a little bit of a surprise considering, of course, there is a Beastmaster that we normally see sit towards the top, if not at the top, with a good enough lane, which he's been pressured. It hasn't exactly been prime time for him.
Yeah, Beastmaster will get the level 6 after the next wave, but the rotation on the mid lane, Lanham lurking around. Like if they rotate Lanham to the top lane, once again it's a guaranteed kill with the Roar. Another smoke. IG, they want to kill Beastmaster.
They'll come over. They just have to catch him in the right spot. And the smoke will break, but Kaka coming in. They've got the glimpse. Now they've got the Earth
There's
Spike.
no Razor. So
Kinetic
okay.
field. And, well, Ollie's just dying to Necro Creeps and Boars. And Kaka might just die to the rotation. Snowball in. They've got the tether. Kaka, he falls. Shard's not close enough to Ollie, and that is a gank gone wrong from IG.
I guess IG did not expect their Beastmaster to be standing there, because they were like wrapping around, and the Razor could not just run straight forward, because it would reveal that something is happening. Can't really just leave the creeps and go for that kind of a play.
Certainly high IQ positioning, because that puts him in a spot where he feels safest, not going to be in too much trouble, and he's breaking smokes from that spot.
Yeah, and he also bought the Boots of Speed before going into that Necro 3, playing into Razor. I really love that. And also like playing with the IO, extra movement speed. They will pressure the tower while their tier 1 tower on the bottom is full HP. So pretty big deal for Aster, making this kind of a move. They still have the Roar to play with, so Beastmaster can easily just control the top area. If they want to defend the bottom tower, like, they need to bring numbers.
Right. And he goes to those boots. I know a lot of times you see Beastmasters go straight to the Necro 3, no boots. But guys, the guide isn't mandatory. The guides that you put open in your game, you can change it up a bit. And he does that, gets the boots, it's the proper itemization, and in my eyes, I think you agree. And now he's going to the Necro 3, which should be good.
Seems like IG will take this tower. Disruptor in a good position to glimpse someone back. Let's see who he decides to glimpse back.
Looks like he's holding it, waiting to maybe find White Album, but this isn't
I think he
quickly
wanted
enough.
to get a better target other than like this position 5 Tusk.
Yeah.
It feels like IO is getting a bit more farm priority. Has that mech queued up, Tusk, you know, standard stuff, Blightstone, Orb of Corrosion works so well on that hero. Like, you can almost one-shot enemy supports with it. Beastmaster did not want to rotate there, but they defended the tower. He's still farming up, getting the levels on the top lane.
Yeah, his lane is really opened up, and that's a bit of a problem for IG. He's top of the net worth now by quite a margin, considering where he was before. He was 500 behind the Razor, now he's 500 ahead of the Razor. And you just see that Fly a little bit of struggling in that lane for a second, pushes him out over to the jungle, and now he's just not farming nearly as much.
It's very hard to approach a Beastmaster's lane once you know, he kills that tier 1 tower. He's pretty much the king of the jungle. You need to either like smoke or bring numbers, something with long range initiation. Lion is level 6. Disruptor level 5.5. He brought the Tome with him, so that's gonna get him to level 6. Static Storm will be available.
So you need to be careful now if you're the Queen of Pain, even blinking away. If you've got this glimpse on a high enough level, which it is now level 3, you may not get away so easily. Buster, ooh, that Sonic Wave came in, and they get the kill on the Kaka, but they've got themselves the arena as well as the spear that comes through on the Queen.
Reload?
Get the kill on the White
Oh,
Album.
he actually died in base.
Oh, dies away from it. Monet goes down 2. Walrus Punch onto the Mars. Land him in a little bit too far, but he'll survive. They do have the kinetic field around on where Barracks is relocating to, but he's got the tether target of Lanham.
That Sonic Wave, I think, it only hit
Kaka.
Kaka and no one else. Like, I can understand why. You know, you have that Arcane Rune, you want to pop it, you don't care too much about the cooldowns.
Snowball going forward, but this just might end up short, and it is well short into a Static Storm. That is not the placement for that Snowball. I don't really know if anybody was really going to be able to follow up on that. They were trying to catch Fly maybe lower than he feels comfortable in, but I still don't think that's a spot you need to be chasing on. We've seen that a couple times with some Tusks that get over-aggressive. We saw it from Elephant in the last series, diving into tier 2.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried for Queen of Pain's game, because, like, what's the itemization here? Possibly, like, you need so many items, because you're playing into Lion, you're playing into Disruptor. Like, Yule Scepter might be the build to be able to, you know, just to dodge some of the things, especially inside a Static Storm. They have 2 saves also on their side, like with Relocate and the potentially Snowball. Snowball a bit harder to execute because of the Static Storm, but you can still pull people out, like if you're in a good angle. Much harder to execute, though.
BKB next for the Queen of Pain.
BKB, okay. I mean, it's very defensive. Like, last time I've seen that, it was Southeast Asia. I believe it was like Yopaj who was really struggling and even found Philosopher's Stone, took the Philosopher's Stone, and actually kept it until he farmed the item, because he was really struggling.
Yeah, sometimes you just have those games mid where you're, like this Queen of Pain right now, you die a couple times, and you really don't want to be that far behind, but you have Beastmaster who's pushing out, he's farming lanes, you've got Gyro who's trying to take up as much farm as he can, so you're really trying to find your spot to get farm as well as a Queen of Pain, and it's not that easy.
Also, like, one good thing is that they found Royal Jelly, so at least you have some mana regen, you have the Raindrop, you bottle. Queen of Pain consumes a lot of mana, and without any mana regen items, like, it's tough to get the farm going.
They've got the arena down, but well, not in the best spot. JT now out of mana. Primal Roar is used, and they'll get the kill on the JT, turn this one around.
Aster should just play around Beastmaster, because Beastmaster is the most farmed hero. Not because of the network, but because what he provides in a team fight, like a lot of slow mana burn. You have a stun, vision, while Gyro and Io, they're farming together. Like, Gyro's doing really well. They did not have many stacks, I believe, but yeah, he's catching up. They're going to make some stacks right now. Monet, that Falcon Blade we talked about, going into Maelstrom, always going to be good. Increases your farm potential, and like these are heroes that have a lot of armor, like Morphling sitting at 23 armor, so you want to have some kind of magical damage. Razor has a decent amount of armor because he's Agi hero, so you want to be able to deal mixed damage here with the Gyro.
Right, and going back to your point about the Beastmaster with his net worth, you know, he's got the best effective net worth at the moment. Obviously, he's got net worth that gives him the Necro, gives him the ability to push, gets him the experience as well that you can use that Primal Roar, move around the map, pressure parts of the map. So playing around, I agree, playing around this Beastmaster would be best option here.
Glimpse back on a Tusk, but yeah, they don't even kill him. They can also set up nicely with the Beastmaster Roar into Relocate. This has been the old school Dota combo. Rune spawning. Let's see if Emo wants to contest this one.
Barracks tether all the way back to Monet, but the finger is available for Kaka. He'll get his first stack. That's a blink reveal, I believe. And
it's a fast
Kaka
blink.
getting
Like
the kill.
it's a 15-minute blink Tranquil's magic stick. Now you need to be very careful how you're gonna initiate, especially on the Queen of Pain.
So let's see, Fly. He's next onto the BKB. You've got Mars, who's going Yules. A little bit of control there, and it was the Linken's first for Morphling. I get a little nervous with these Morphlings that go with that defensive Linken's first.
They have no like real abilities that they can proc the Linken's with. So like Beastmaster Roar is not gonna be that good. Like Shadow Strike is fine, but you need to get close. Missile, you do not want to use that. So yeah, Morphling going for the Linken's sounds okay. You know, I don't mind that. It's like super defensive as the first item, but it also increases your farm because you never need to go back and heal up your mana or HP. Also has that Morbid Mask. Morbid Mask might be a bit overkill here, but we'll see.
So they do have this ward in on the Triangle of the Dire. There's a sentry right next to it, so it should be warded eventually. Some deep vision from the Dire as well, as they're inside the Radiant Triangle. Emo just pushing out top, trying to do what he can as XSS comes over with Lanham. They've also got some help joining them in Borax and Monet. Do they catch anybody out? And it doesn't look likely. So they knew where they were. They put some pressure on, push them out of their own triangle, but don't find anything. At least not yet. And IG continue to move around the map and look for farm. It is a little bit of a lead here for Aster. Even though it is 9-6 for IG, it's felt like there's been a little bit more control from IG overall.
I don't know why you call it 9-6. It's much easier to call it 6-9, and it makes more sense, at least to me. Smoke from Aster, XXS, and Lanham trying to find something, anything in the triangle. Smoke will run out.
So coming into the triangle, again taking the Ancients. Lanham actually gets rid of that Sentry. The game is staying pretty silent the last few minutes or so, but it looks like they might make a move here on Monet. There's the blink as well as the Earth Spike. Static Storm is in. They've got the finger. Do they have the damage with the Hex?
Relo
trying to get the kill, but he relocates not too far away. White Album comes in and turns this around with the help of Lanham. They'll come through, waveform onto the back, getting the kill on Monet. Now looking for more, but Emo's in a little bit deep. Can he help out the rest of his team who has showed up finally? They've got the arena as well as the spear that hits on a White Album. They'll take out a second. And
surprise!
IG come out ahead.
Yeah, Gyrocopter decided to go back in. Like Glimpse was not on point during that relocate. They still get the most out of it, and yeah, this is why, you know, Morphling has been picked as a counter to Gyrocopter throughout the history of Dota. You just turn into him, you have a flak cannon, you have a ton of magic damage coming out from that rocket barrage. And now going into E-Blade, Morphling is getting out of control, I would say here. Like, they don't have the real answer. Mana burn is okay-ish. They have some burst potential with Queen of Pain and like Tusk tag team, but they need to somehow catch him while he's not shifting, which is going to be very hard considering that the build he went for, that Lincoln Sphere, is going to cause a lot of issues.
Right. Do you think it was the right decision to only relocate back to the tier 2 tower that was right
Could
near
have
them?
relocated him a bit backwards, or maybe, like, if he had a TP ready on Gyro, like, you can relocate him back to the base, and then he can TP back full HP, full mana to the fight.
I was kind of wondering about that because that seems close enough where it definitely brought Emo back to the, you know, far back lines where he's looking to still get that kill on a Monet. If you go back to base, maybe the rest of the team doesn't engage there and you don't lose anybody. Banbury's picked up for the gyrocopter. Got that Lincoln's finished with the Ghost Scepter, and it is 1,600 gold away from the E-Blade.
Aster will want to take a fight once they get their BKBs. Queen of Pain getting very close to hers, and also like Beastmaster has one done. Gyrocopter has one in 700 gold, so this is going to be their timing. Like 3 BKBs, they have no abilities that pierce magic immunity, so this is going to be a timing when Aster wants to go take a fight, possibly near the Roche, and transition that into first Roshan, first Aegis, if possible.
Is E-Blade that effective this game at this point?
I mean,
who's it trying to blow up?
I mean, you can blow up IO, you can blow up, because they're going for the BKBs. You know, you can still blow up people if they get stunned during the Mars Arena, during the like initiation from Lion. So
right.
It's gonna be good. You're gonna get more value out of it a bit later, I would say, when the BKBs go down. So the fights are gonna be much longer, and then like you get the most out of it. So yeah, I want to see a smoke coming out from Aster. There we go. 1, 2, third BKB on the way from Gyro. They're doing this properly. 3 heroes, and they can relocate into the fight with the other 2.
They actually can't because Barracks used relocate to get a bounty bottom.
Okay,
it's on
then
cooldown
they
for 30
can't.
seconds.
Okay, they're using the scan, successful scan, so they know something is up. Like, this could have actually been a disaster.
I think it's better that they didn't find anybody.
I actually just realized that you can spell disaster without Aster.
They're going to use the snowball, come through, but they've got the Hex as well as the Static Storm. BKB's going to be Popeye XSS, so go to the Primal Roar onto the Razor. They get the kill on the Holly, so they take out 1, but they end up trading Lanham, and with the Primal Roar used, the BKB still going on this Beastmaster. It's just a TP out.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it was a good point from you. I didn't realize, because, you know, this is a kind of a play that you expect them to do. You smoke with 3, and then you relocate in after Beastmaster finds someone with the Roar, with the Hawk, but they did not have that relocate. So, surprised they decided to climb uphill and actually take the fight.
It seems like weird timings coming out as... You know, you don't have that relocate. Now you've used that BKB. That's a 10-second BKB that gets used in this situation. That doesn't feel good. You use the Primal Roar. That's on cooldown now for 30 more seconds. This gives opportunities to IG. You've got the E-Blade available. You're almost finished with the BKB on Mars. You go to the smoke, and if IG take out 1 or 2 heroes, they're right into Roche.
There's no Roar for 20 seconds, no BKB, no book. Like, Beastmaster would love not to take the fight Lanham. Tanking the smoke. Using the snowball.
Good job by
He's
Kaka.
going to pay with his life.
At least that's what it looks like. They're going to go to the call down too with the BKB Popeye Flyfly. They'll go for the kill here on Solana, but they've got the static link on a Monet. Flyfly going in deep. How deep will he go? Looks over at XSS, who has the Primal Roar as well as the Sonic Wave. He's in too far. They get the kill to Flyfly. They'll take out this Razor. Now they're trying to turn this around. They'll look to leave Emo. He's got the morph into the Queen of Pain with the BKB being Popeye White Album. They're thinking about whether or not they should go through with this, and they don't. That is way too far from Flyfly without his team. The rest of the team taking care of that kill on the Tusk, and then, well, all of a sudden, they just don't have anybody behind Flyfly, and he gets caught alone where the Primal Roar comes off cooldown.
They have no saves on side of IG. Oh, Lanham.
He might be dead, and he just bought back. Ooh, dear. But Emo in far. He's got that Blink and the Lincolns. It's not awful to turn into that Queen of Pain when you do have movement with it. Waveform, Blink. It's a good combo. It's a lot of ground to cover.
Aster has a limited amount of catch, limited amount of stun once they use the roar. Like we're gonna see that fight again. Lanham using the snowball. He was afraid that there are any wards on top that he will get jumped, so immediately snowballs. Can't blame him for that. Gyro needs to be relocated out. Yeah, they need to relocate out because like Razor gets the static link on the Gyro, so that's a bit problematic.
He's just in a little bit too far.
That's his job, you know, for Razor, but they need to follow up. Razor is a bit speedy also. At least in the next patch, I want to see something else added to Storm Surge instead of just being at bonus movement speed. Like, that's so bland as an ability. Oh, there you go. Take this movement speed. Can't wait to use that one.
That's a talent. That's what that spell looks like, or that passive, a talent. It does get an upgrade from the Shard, but that Shard could just be added on. So, Hawk, I believe, spotting Kaka.
That's a Hawk with the Aghanim Shard upgrade, so can use the dive bomb.
They can play Angry Birds with the Hawks.
Yes, they can. And the biggest part of that shard is that you can move the Hawk.
Yeah.
It's not about that dive bomb, even though you can do some really good things.
Oh, this is a little late, this jump.
A bit late, yeah. Ton of damage coming out from the Tusk stack team. Observer ward sentry placed already to see any kind of movement. It's hard to maintain the vision when you're playing against the Beastmaster. Pretty much every single time the Necrobook is ready, he will send it out to actually get rid of the vision. They see Lanham going in.
They'll spot vision here. Ooh, no, they won't. Maybe one of those Necros alive. So, just had the Archer, didn't have the Warrior, didn't have that ability to take out that Obs. So the vision stays for IG. You've got Emo going into the Scotty after this Ghost set, after this E-Blade. Lincoln's being built for the Razor, and then Blink Dagger for JT, which I think is very needed for him to close the gap, get that Blink into the arena.
Yeah, after getting the Yule Scepter first item, BKB is kind of natural choice. A lot of magical damage from Team Aster, even though they have a couple of BKB's piercing abilities. You know, there's a Sonic Wave, there's Roar, there's also Tusk Walrus Punch, but you still need to be able to defend yourself. There's the Roar.
Gets used, and they're right on top of this Mars, JT falling, and there's no way to follow this up. But I said there's no way to follow it up. They might just go for the Queen of Pain. They're going to quick kill with the shotgun and the finger. They're going to look over at Monet. They relocated into this. This could be a problem if they end up losing themselves the Wisp. There's no way to get out now, and they're going to chase and get the Aegis. I believe the Gyrocopter, he did use the BKB right before he died. So now he's hexed up. He's dead for the second time. They go after the Tusk, and Lanham falls too. Godlike ultra kill for Emo. And that BKB was used right before he dies, and that makes it so easy to kill him a second time.
Yeah, he tried to cancel the glimpse, but they still managed to take him. Team Aster just overextending quite a lot. You know, getting a kill on a position 3 Mars is a good thing. Then Quap gets initiated on. Like, Barracks needs to be a bit more careful with those relocates. Like, there was already one mistake where he relocates in to pick up the bounties. They don't have it for a fight, and now, like, this one's pretty huge, because, like, you gave Emo 4 kills. They're taking your tier 2 tower. They can possibly, like, take the control of your outpost, the pre-30-minute mark.
This is not good for Aster. They're now down 5K, but it certainly feels a little bit more than just 5K the way they've been playing.
Yeah, this one's kind of a game-breaking moment there. Beastmaster, XXS, he's been playing so well. Like, throughout the laning stage, only has one that, good rotations, great scouting, D-warding. There's 1-2 observer wards on the map right now. But yeah, he's using the Necrobooks to push out, to D-ward Lanham. Sitting on a ward once again.
He's not going for the Falcon Blade. Disappointed. But he is going for the Blink next. I'm okay with that. I like that little combination where you can blink in, get that control.
Dire are scanning.
Emo, Scotty going into the BKB. And for Razor, the Lincoln's is 400 gold away. So he'll feel a little bit more safe. He's also holding on to a gem. And he's got Yules, he's got BKB at 8 seconds. Fly should feel pretty safe on this Razor for the next few minutes or so. Or really, potentially for the rest of the game.
2 Lincoln Spheres, something that I haven't seen in a really long time. Like as a it was actually first item on Morph, third item on Razor, but since they have no saving heroes, I can get behind that. It also makes you a bit more tanky, but just against that Roar, it's gonna be good. Dropping the gem. They're the ones who want to be controlling the vision and most importantly kill that Hawk so you don't get surprised by the dive bomb.
Let's see if they can get some vision down. Place an observer on the cliff with a sentry nearby. And I'll look to push this tier 2 bottom. Creeps finally coming in. This is hard to defend here for the side of Aster, and they just lost their outpost with 12 seconds to get it back. This is perfect timing from IG. That's a lot of experience going their way. That'll put them even further behind. Now 7K in net worth. In experience, it's about 15K.
15,000 experience, that's quite a lot. Next Roche may respawn in 2.5 minutes, almost 3. Because that first Aegis was kind of wasted on a gyrocopter, and now you can feel Team Aster, like, it really cost them. That relocate, they can't go for aggressive moves. And most importantly, like, IG, they're keeping their tier 1 tower on mid alive for 30 minutes. Like, this tower has taken 50 damage so far.
Jeez. That is nothing.
That is not even 100 damage.
It's like one right click from the IO early on. $7K lead, that 15,000 experience. Just to put it into a little bit more detail for you guys watching, Morphling's level 24, Gyro is 17. He is 7 levels behind his lane opponent. I mean, that is a disgusting difference.
Yeah, Queen of Pain's not really having a game. They have so many counters for co-op, like you're playing into Disruptor, you're playing into Lion, you didn't get too much out of the laning stage, so he was forced to get the BKB as the first item, which is okay, but that also shows like how vulnerable you are, and that also means that like you can't really scale, that you're gonna be in the middle of the pack. Going for Hex next item.
Trying to find
Need
anybody
to
on
be
Aster.
careful with the courier.
Ooh, they have vision of it. Just won't be able to catch it.
Razor going Basher next item. Something that we don't see very often, but you know, we've seen some Bashers on the range heroes lately. There was one on the Shadowfin. I'm not talking about the Spellcaster Shadowfin. It was like Shadowblade. They needed something to cancel the Black Hole with.
Right.
So yeah, one way to do it.
Was that White Album who did that?
I think it was. I think it was.
I think he's like one of the only ones who's played Shadow Fiend in
It
the
was
Chinese
Ori
region
as
right
well.
now.
Ori
Yeah.
played this.
There haven't been many. As Emo gets a quick kill there onto Lanham, looking over at White Album. Look at the damage. He's got the Lincolns. He'll survive. The BKB is popped. He'll try to blink away. Emo in really deep. He is far in. Sonic Wave, and you will pay for that. That is diving and dying.
What did he just do? Relocate into Mars Arena. They need to get the skill of Fly.
They still kill Fly. Emo.
Oh my god, this is actually insane what he just did. He wanted to go for Queen of Pain, you know, possibly turn into Queen of Pain, blink out if you're in trouble, get surprised by Death Roar. Queen of Pain pops a BKB, had Regeneration Rune in the bottle, and they turn it around.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Sometimes it's diners, drive-ins, and dives. Here, it's diving, drive-bys, and dying.
Yeah, because Queen of Pain used the Shadow Strike to proc that Lincoln's, and the Beastmaster blinks in, gets the Roar off. I love itemization on Beastmaster in this game. I think this is pretty much perfect. You know, getting the boots of speed before going into Necro 3. Just have extra movement speed to move around the map, play against the Razor. Then he gets a BKB, which I really like. I'm a big fan of Beastmaster BKBs. Then a Blink Dagger for initiation, and a Force Staff to push people out of the focus, especially your Gyrocopter, who's gonna get linked in the team fights.
That
Just overall great itemization. This is like 10 out of 10. You know, I'm the guy who talks a lot about the items, whatever I feel, you know, is good, is not good, and yeah, XXS just heavily delivering this game.
I'm still just baffled by that blunder. Yeah, okay, so Aster, I mean, with that, they're back in the game.
And that was level 25 Morphling, you know, so he feeds a lot of XP, he feeds a lot of gold there.
Keyword feed. And that was a feed deposit right into their mouths.
He was also holding the gem, I believe, because they have gem now on Aster. Queen of Pain has a gem.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was, oh, that was actually so big. Queen of Pain is
They're
in.
going to try and fight. They got the BKB Popeye White on them. They're going to go after Monet. He's down to about half health. They've got the Sonic Wave that hits on a Popeye as well as Emo. Emo gets to the backlines with the Waveform. They've got the damage coming through, but is it going to be enough? They finally kill off Monet. They've got the Arena down as well as the Spear that hits on a Barracks. They'll get the kill into the IO. They'll take out two heroes on the side of Aster without buyback. Lanham falls afterwards. Flyfly is dead, but in the Static Storm as well as the Kinetic Field is White Album, and JT's got the triple kill. They will pull the game right back after a massive blunder. It is a shining glory spot for IG.
IG's like, we were just kidding, you know, giving you hopes that you can come back into this game. Let's see that one again. Problem is they did not proc Morph's Lincoln Sphere. They don't have another ability that can proc it through magic immunity. So like once Morph uses a BKB besides the Roar, like they can't touch the Morphling. And with 2 waveform charges, he can just go in and out. So Beastmaster can't really, you know, get the Roar off because there will be a Lincolns, and there's also possibility that Razor will use a Lincolns on the Morphling just to be able to, you know, have those 2 Lincoln Spheres. Pretty hard to take down. They have very limited amount of single target abilities that can proc it. Now, Emo holding that Aegis, even cheese, like he's...
Now you can dive.
Yeah, he's holding the cheese for Razor once he respawns. Eon Disc on Lion, so he doesn't need to care about the initiation. We'll get the spells off. Eon Disc, a lot of value from this item in this patch. Got actually buffed by 10 or 15, I believe it was 10 seconds in the previous patch, so works really well. And they got their gem back.
Yeah, sorry, I giggled a second just because insert cringe here. It's Aeon Disc on Lion. It's on Lion.
Ah.
Yeah, maybe giggle. I thought about it in my head and I was just like, that. All right, it works. Had to share for the world just so you guys could ha ha.
Ha ha hee hee.
Yeah, you know, a little bit. Buster going forward and hitting Emo. Buster the homing missile. I don't exactly know what the Buster stands for.
Don't ask me. I'm not a lore guy.
Have to ask the creator of the item, I guess. Telescope, all right. Give that to Kaka if he wants it. Or even Ollie. Ooh. He's holding 3 neutrals. This is not how the game works anymore, Ollie.
You can
only
hold,
have
you
one
can hold,
neutral
you know, couple as a Trusty Shovel as a 4 or 5. Never send it back. Like always have it. Like when you're dead, if you don't have like Philosopher's Stone, you can actually have 3 items. Like if you're holding Philosopher's Stone, if you have Trusty Shovel plus the item that you use for the team fight. When you're dead, you use Philosopher. If you don't have Philosopher, once you're dead, you use Trusty Shovel in to, you know, lower the cooldown. So
That's some min-maxing right there.
That's efficiency.
Damn. Call down used to try and deter. Second bomb comes down, and here comes Buster. He's taken out. Go for the racks, and they'll use this glyph. They're not here, though. XSS is pushing bottom. Queen of Pain is mid, cutting the creep wave. So they're letting this racks die. And they're trying to take a racks of their own in the bottom lane, which they've taken the tier 3, and they're starting to do quite a bit of damage, but they've got the Primal Roar as well as the Mars Punch comes through under the Mars, who's trying to TP back to the bottom lane. They'll use that Earth Spike, get the finger off, they get the kill into JT, they'll end up losing nothing so far on the side of Aster, with the BKBs being popping, them escaping 74 seconds without this Mars, and no casualties on Aster.
Yeah, they unfortunately did not get the barracks on the bottom. Necrobook ran out, but overall, still a decent fight for Aster, considering the situation they're in right now. Now, Lanham has that Blink Dagger, so it's going to be much easier for him to like save people, possibly also initiate or just to follow up.
Look at that, yeah. Right, and he was going to TP bottom. He almost got the racks. Good Force Staff out, relocate as well. They have the damage on IG, they just don't have the control at the moment. So let's see. Still holding that Aegis. How close is he to this axe? 800 gold on Ollie. Game-changing item. For sure. Divine Rapier, whoa! I was not expecting that. I didn't think the game was that close.
I don't think it's needed. Like,
Do they spot this with the Hawk?
they still have like a minute left on Divine Rapier, so I don't think you have enough time to actually go in and take a fight. 55 seconds until Aegis is gone, and he also needs to be. He's showing like this Hawk is scouting it out, so they know about the Divine Rapier.
And they could dive bomb him and just swipe it. Oh my!
There's no need to get the Divine Rapier.
No, I don't
Whether
think
you
so
like
either.
want to get Satanic or you want to get a Butterfly, like it's much safer choice. But let's see. 33 seconds. It's gonna be like a really long time, considering that you know they're going for the tier 4s.
And they want to go to the tier 4s because the rest of the team, they've got Tusk and Beastmaster bottom. So let's see how much damage they can do here out of the tier 4s. They will take out that used to be Shrine. They want the creeps to focus as Aegis gets popped. Okay. Be back alive, and now they're going to go in. They're going to try and get the Primal Roar. He backs off for a second, and Waveform's back in. He's going to try and get the damage off. They'll look over as he'll use that snowball that's going to go out onto JT with the BKB being popped here by the Mars. He'll send him back because he morphed into this gyro and uses the flak cannon. They don't quite get the kill there onto the Tusk, so he'll survive. Wind Waker back in the Static Swarm. Tusk!
Oh, he's alive!
25 health!
So they need to be very careful right now. Bottom range barracks gone, nothing too serious. But the gyrocopter, like this could backfire so easily. Like you're in a situation when Roche is not gonna respawn for at least 2.5 minutes. Could be a bit tricky. There's also Queen of Pain with the Hex right now, so another control coming out from their mid laner.
This is high risk, semi-okay reward, because I feel like the risk is just too high.
I'm just scratching my head right now.
It really just feels like it's an unnecessary risk. Like, I guess the reward is, yeah, you win the game, but
they could have won the game
without it.
With a different item build, that's for sure. I guess he just wants to go in and turn into gyrocopter, get that flak cannon with the Divine Rapier. Also, Razor should be a bro and use a Lincoln Sphere on Morph all the time.
Double Lincolns, yeah.
Exactly.
You want to make sure that you're blocking everything that can slow
Love
down
that
this
item.
Morph.
Also, JT, Wind Waker. This item is extremely expensive, but if you get initiated on, especially with the Roar, like you get so much value out of it. You can just cycle on your own teammates. It's a 7,000 gold item, but yeah, it gets the job done.
I was hesitant on Wind Waker when we first got here. Last day of the season, I definitely love that item. We've had a lot of games where that item has been fun to watch and very important. I know
This is also one
but
way
it's
to
so
protect
good.
just against the Beastmaster Roar.
Yep.
Beastmaster going for AC next. Maybe there is a wiggle room to throw in a Refresher Orb. I would not mind that. Just have a double BKB and most importantly, like double Roar. Maybe that could be the play here instead. You know, just because they have one BKB piercing ability. They have no Abyssal Blade, so they can't really proc once more pops that BKB. That way, they would be able to lock it down, possibly still that Divine Rapier.
Yeah, and then you can have 2 roars and pop both of against with them. Oh, but hopefully you have that extra bit of control that you can lock up that Morphling. Because if the Divine Rapier drops, the game is definitely favoring Aster with a Gyro as farmed as he is.
And then you have Gyrocopter who can buy full Satanic, possibly upgrade the Aghanim Scepter, and still have even Boots of Speed in his inventory. So, yeah. IG right now, they're just waiting for the next Roche. They got the 2 set of barracks, and there's also range barracks on top, not a full set, but yeah, XXS once again, pushing the bottom lane with the Beastmaster. He's been really impressive. Like, he has died only once in the laning stage, that's it.
Yeah, and he's been putting pressure on bottom, taking the racks himself, really doing a lot to try and scare IG a little bit, and open up opportunity for his team. Emo, by the way, dismantling the E-Blade, going into the Butterfly, holding onto the Ghost Scepter, as well as a Morbid Mask at the moment.
I thought you were going to say disassembling Divine Rapier and does not want to hold it anymore. Yeah, that's not how it works.
If you pull hard enough, it'll break. You get your items back.
Yeah, like it's like King Arthur. It was definitely not him being the the strongest one. He was probably like the, I don't know, 1,000 person. They just shook it so hard that then whoever came next would actually be able to get it out.
Yeah, that's how the real story is. He just kind of came up and was like, huh, you guys have been doing this for 500 years? You guys are so weak. Just lifts it right out of the stone. Picks up that Excalibur. I can see. I can fight. Razor with the Abyssal, 3,400 gold left, 15k lead, and Roche soon. They're going to jump in on this. They're going to look over for JT. They get the kill onto the Mars very quickly. He's going to have buyback, and he's going to use it immediately because they do not want to give up this Roche spot, the posturing that IG have. They've done this a couple times when they have been able to blow up this Mars. And this time he's got buyback, and he uses it immediately. Gets that cooldown on buyback starting now.
IG holding the high ground.
Ooh, they're going to jump in on this. They've got the Earth Spike as well as the Spear that's going to hit on a Monet, as well as the Static Storm coming in with the Kinetic Field. They'll look to get the kill on a Monet. They'll also take out Lenham. They're going to both buyback most likely. So far, just the buyback used by Monet. They also got the kill on the Beastmaster, so there's all 3 buybacks being used as XSS finally dies for the 2nd time in this game. Relocating back into the Kinetic Field. Tethers back to Monet. They've got 3 buybacks used, and IG have a massive lead here. You can see the damage coming in from that Morphling. Look at the damage he's done here in that fight recap. There was 12,000 damage done total, probably about 11,000 done by the Morph.
They overstated their welcome. Just they knew where they are, even though there are no wards. Like, you can actually feel where there are couriers inside the pit. They're going to die. There's also a
there's
Hawk.
the blink in with the Walrus punch that comes through on an Ollie. He's going to use that snowball and hold it as long as he can. He goes over to Kaka with the BKB pop by Fly. Now they've got the adaptive strike that hits onto the Tusk, but blink into the backlines is White Out, and they get the kill on Kaka. He's going to buy back immediately. So now buyback's been used by both the Mars as well as the Lion. They're going to move forward. Kinetic Field locking up Lanham for a second. The waveform in as well as the adaptive strike. They get the kill on Lanham. They'll take out the Tusk, but they've got
He got the
Primal
Morph
Roar.
off.
They can kill this Morphling if they continue to have control of BKB pop by Monet. They've got themselves the arena down by JT. Into the air is Fly. There's the finger. Monet hit with the Invisible Blade coming out from Fly. He's in a bad spot. They've got the Hex on the Morphling. He's just not getting the damage out. But Monet, he's sitting low. He's hexed up. He's glimpsed back.
That's
he ends
game.
up dead. They'll call GG. IG take the game. It's a 1-0 lead for IG, and capping it off with a full team wipe as they take this first one.
Man, I think this game could have been a bit different if Aster didn't make so many mistakes. Like that first Roshan play when they relocate in to help Queen of Pain. They end up dying. BKB popped on Gyro respawns without a BKB. These are some like rookie mistakes. Aster usually don't make these. So yeah, I want to see how they're going to adapt in game 2, like how many mistakes are they going to make. But yeah, IG looking like the old IG, not the IG from yesterday, but throughout the whole